know what that sound means. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source. Now it's time for In the Garden with Carol Ann. Carol Ann Baldwin in the studio. Good morning, girl.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Doing pretty good. I'm still waking up again. I don't know what it is.
I know. I saw you doing that yawn stuff. It's stopping.
Yeah, I think I need another cup of coffee. I only try to do 1 cup of coffee a day, and I think I need another one.
It wasn't big enough.
It didn't take.
Yeah, sometimes you have to have a bigger cup to do that kind of stuff.
You need a big gulp. Yeah, I try not to drink that much of it, but I need a little something.
Of it.
Yeah,
or a little more espresso.
Or maybe I needed a darker roast today. Maybe that was what it was.
Just a little more caffeine. With everything going on in the world, sometimes you just need a little extra pick me up.
Just a little extra pick me up. Speaking of pick me up, that's what you're here for. For any plants or flowers or vegetables or anything within the garden that is needing the pick me up because the weather's getting hotter and the days are getting sultry.
Yes.
But it is though the wet season. We are officially in hurricane season. We were discussing that a little bit as I just looked it up. That little bit of what they call T3 or number 3 is
tropical storm number 3. Right.
It's
named.
Not yet named, but it's going to be. And with that, we'll see what it does over the next few days. As I think it gets over a certain amount of wind when it gets named.
That's when they get named, right? And of course, it does still look like whatever it does. That so far doesn't look like it's going to affect us, except for bringing wet weather because it's on the east side we are on the east side of where it is.
Exactly.
So
it's kind of drumming up.
Be prepared for a wet end of the week.
Yeah, wet end of the week as it's drawing in moisture from the Gulf, from the south.
And we do need this.
We do. Actually, that's a good point.
We have had a very dry winter and spring, which is not uncommon. I mean, that is our dry time of year. But we like to get that water level back up into the the aquifer, the groundwater systems, and because that helps stop those wildfires. I mean, we've had wildfires both in the northwestern part of the state as well as down south. Yeah, and they've been getting rain on the East Coast. Yeah, where we have not so much up here, but. So if we get it, we'll be thankful. We need the rain, cleans things up. Talking even here in Galen say that they're doing the antibody testing, right. And that it's what was it, less than 1% of those tested, and I am of the less than 1%. I'm not worked through the whole thing. Yeah. Without masks, without all kinds of different people.
Let's just state for the record, you worked through it, and mind you, as an essential worker that you were. Oh, yeah. You're talking about a bunch of people that you saw because we're talking in the gardening
in a home improvement store.
Hugely busy.
We were crazy busy because everybody was home and they were coming in. I mean, we did maintain as best as possible.
Best you could.
Social distancing and things like that. I mean, of actually having to tell people, back up.
Yeah.
I'm not coming near you. You back up. But still, and we're still doing that. But thank goodness, knock wood, because I'm a regular donor and I was tested and I do not have any antibodies. So, it would have been nice to have been able to donate for that cause, but glad I've not been. That I'm not a carrier spreading it to anybody else either.
That's right.
So
that's right.
But I think, and I attribute a lot of that to the sunshine. The hot temperatures and that. So and now the rains we're getting are going to help to flush things off of open public areas, the parks. Yeah. The amusement areas and things like that. So, I'm a lot less concerned if I were to go and partake a day at one of the local attractions that we have of being, standing in line might be a little different, but, like they say, just putting your hand on a railing is not the easiest way to contract it. Right. So, and with rain and things like that coming into our forecasts, I think that's going to make things a little easier. That Florida might be in a little better area.
We are too. When they mention the UV index, because they're talking about UV light with these wands to go over surface areas. A huge heat index out there.
It's turned up. It's turned up a bit.
It's hard out there.
When you need to wear your sun protective factor to go out for the few minutes out in the yard. Anybody watching the YouTube, I've brought back out, and it's funny. It's 80 88, 92 degrees, yes, I'm wearing long sleeves.
Right. But
It's SPF.
Yeah.
So I don't have to continually go out.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've not yet, knock wood, I have done the skin cancer checks.
Yeah.
I've been blessed. I've not had any come up, but
Yeah.
you know what? You got to protect your skin.
Yeah.
It's the only set you get.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The largest organ in the body. Mm-hmm. And, it's funny, too, because like we said, with the UV index being as high as it is, they say if you're outside for more than 10 minutes exposed, you can get burned.
You're getting damage to your skin.
So if that's the case, then how does the virus survive? It can't.
Exactly.
That's how you guys.
And so that's how I say this. And I think that's why flu season is generally once
Absolutely.
the fall and winter comes, we're more in the house, the sun's not as intense, et cetera. So while you're outside working in the garden, try to do it early, because it is hot. Drink your water.
Yes.
Do those kind of things. Wear the sunscreen. Wear the SPF factors. You know, I mean, they're not that expensive to go out. Get the big hat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a hat person, but okay, I've brought my hat out a couple times. Of course, it's one of the ones you can wet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, give it a wet, give it a twist, throw it on. It's cooling you down.
Yeah.
So it's those kind of things are the best thing you can do to take care of yourself while you're going
Absolutely,
out there. Do
yes.
it early morning. Get out there in the evening. The sun is up until 8:30, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's
there's
getting
no
later now,
reason
too.
to mow the grass after 10 o'clock in the morning.
No.
Yeah, you can mow it in the evening. Now it look like we're going to get some rain. So if you haven't mowed the grass in a couple of days and you're off today, or
Yeah,
whatever,
say today's the day to get it done.
Get that done. Fertilization for the lawn and for the landscape. This is June. Get it done now before the rainy season starts. And actually, even I'd be a little cautious now because they are calling for rain for the rest of the week.
Yeah, lots of it.
And a significant amount that you might even go, do I really need to put that fertilizer down?
Right.
Because, and people always ask me, well, what if I put that down? Because they're calling for some rain tonight. And I go, no, then don't put it down.
Right.
Till they're not calling for rain tonight. Because you put it down, pump on your sprinklers per the directions, water in to activate either your pesticide or your fertilizer. Do them as what the directions say, and then you don't want rain. You want that to sit there in that root system, on that plant material, however the mode of action is for that product that you're using. You don't want to put it down and go, oh, it's supposed to rain tonight, and we get 3 inches of rain.
Oh, I know. And with this time of year,
you know how
the
expensive
heavy rain,
fertilizer is?
quarter of a tenth of an inch and all that.
A quarter of an inch is fine, but you get good blow through, or you don't get any. And if it's a pesticide, it begins to lose its effectiveness because it needs to be activated within 24 hours of its application.
Ah, gotcha.
So the best thing to do is go out there and put it down, bump the sprinklers on for 10, 15 minutes, get your quarter of an inch of water down, and shut it off, and you're good to go. You're taking care of the insect pests that you're spending your money on.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
And putting this pesticide to the earth, down for. So, that's the reason for instructions. One is so it's effective.
Yeah.
2, that stuff's expensive.
Yeah.
If you're going to go out and spend anywhere a lawn fertilizer, you're looking at starting at, some of them will be like $16, $18 for a 5,000 square foot property, all the way up to about $40 to $60.
Yeah.
60, you're talking the bigger bags, but still, that's a lot of green.
Yeah.
To throw on the ground and then mow off later. But if you're concerned because of the rain we're going to be getting, there are some more natural products that you could put down. Little harder. Some of them are a little harder to apply with your spreader, like the manures kind of thing, because you could just put Black Cow, Black Velvet, any of those. They're not going to hurt anything. They're gonna help the lawn. They're gonna nourish the soil. Or you've also got the other commercial type products, and I'm sure there's other brands. I'm only familiar with like the Florida Natural or the Milorganite type things.
Okay.
Both are the same thing. One comes out of Milwaukee, the other comes out of West Palm Beach. Yeah. To me, save a couple dollars, buy the one out of West Palm Beach. That'll run through your spreader. It's not going to burn. You don't have to water it. if it gets rained on, it's not such a high quantity of a nitrogen source that it's going to be a runoff issue.
Gotcha. Speaking of Milwaukee, we got a caller on the air. I think you know who he is. Good morning, sir. How are you doing today? In the garden with Carol Ann.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let that rain come.
Oh, yeah. What can we do for you this morning?
I've been on a blueberry kick here for the last couple of weeks, and I'm sitting there eating my bowl of blueberries, and I'm wondering. Now, about a year and a half ago, or whatever it was, I went out with the wife and picked blueberries, and I told her after we were done, I said, I'm going to Walmart or Publix and buying my blueberries. I woke up with a backache, and that was it. That was the end of that. But the question I have is, there must be a machine or something that picks blueberries, right, in a mass situation?
Commercial, you know what? Actually, they may use a little bit of something to shake them off into a cloth, but the ripe ones come off so easy that if you were picking just into a bucket, you're just running your hands across the bushes, across the product, and they come off in your hands, so you're not sitting there and having to pluck each one and putting them into a bucket, because they're fairly soft, so it's not something you want to bruise or compact or have had a lot of impact before they go through their line. I know Adam he's doing a Google search here to see whether or not they do mechanically pick them or not.
Yeah, let's take a look here. It looks, it says the majority of them are hand-picked.
That must be, for a person to go out in a field in warm weather and pick blueberries all day, that's got to be... They go early in the morning and they go late in the evening. If you notice, most of the blueberry farms are open, that kind of thing. They have a certain time period because it is so hot out there, and that blueberry bushes. That's one thing nice about blueberries is you're not bending over to pick them because they are bushes. They're shrubs. They're pretty good sized plants that you could you're reaching up, have a small bucket. Of course, I guess you might be stooping a few times to put your handfuls into your little bucket. But yeah, blueberries are great, and we do have a lot of U-pick places around here. But I think the season for blueberries is coming up, coming to the end. I think here pretty soon because we're in June. Probably might stretch to the end of the month, I guess, depending on the weather. Oh, and he's got a video going here that looks like a machine that sort of shakers.
Yeah, it's interesting. It looks like almost like a catamaran type thing that just goes over the row, and it's got like you would revolving
like
through
the
like if you're going through a turnstile at the amusement park, but just picture that pretty tall, and it just comes through and knocks them.
They're sliding down the little
like you
chute into a bin. Yeah.
When they're more ripe, they're easier to come off. So if they're ripe, then it's just kind of shaking them off.
They're just they're just going to drop off there, and so.
And you're talking 2 huge totes.
Oh yeah.
Just for one row. Yeah, that's a lot of blueberries.
That's
My goodness.
You start wanting some whipped cream and
I'm enjoying, I believe it's Florida corn right now, the first crop. It's been wonderful. Yeah. And the question I have is, going way back, years back, I always went to our green market back up in Wisconsin. I never seen what they call now a bicorn.
The bicolor, right? The candy corn.
When did they start making bicorn?
I would say candy corn. I think because they also called it candy corn.
Yeah, I heard
one
that
time,
before.
bicolor corn, candy corn. I want to say I remember it in the 70s. When I was a kid, Jersey. I think Jersey probably grew some candy corn because that was, always my favorite vegetable was corn on the cob.
Yeah.
That was I was the child for Mom would at Thanksgiving. Of course, we're so far away from Thanksgiving. Would be the thing of you get to pick you get one favorite item during the Thanksgiving dinner, and mine was corn on the cob, which in November in New Jersey you can't get fresh corn on the cob.
Yeah.
So it was always the Green Giant niblets, but it was like which were never as good.
Never as good. you could freeze the cobs.
My favorite corn is the bicorn, but what I don't like though is all just the white corn. It's just to me a little bit too sweet.
White corn. White corn is the bomb for me. That's I can actually that can be dinner.
Yeah.
That and a stick of butter and the salt shaker.
Yeah.
Cooked in the husk.
Yep. In the husk.
In the husk. Either I like to do it on the grill. Now on mine, some people just take and trim that corn. Take the corn, trim off the ends, and you soak it.
Okay.
Put it in a dishpan,
Yeah.
soak it with water, and you can put it right on the grill like that. Well, for myself, I like to just trim
Right,
them up,
right.
get a 1 foot sheet of aluminum foil, wet them, roll it up. It does steam it a little more than grill it. Or you can trim them up, wet them real good, pop them in the microwave.
Oh, yeah.
In the microwave,
Yeah.
you've got your
Hey,
corn in about 7 minutes.
We have 2 corn crops in Florida, and the first one now is that the bigger or the better of the two?
Oh, I don't know. It may depend on whether or not the spring or the fall crop is better. I think come the fall crop, it might not be as large, only because of trying to time that one out.
Yeah.
That you can only, get so much of it planted, and that we've had the corn from all over the country, that the price of corn is down by that point. You figure Florida, and probably the same thing over in California on the West Coast, is that we have that opportunity to have that first crop in for the country.
Yeah.
And so we're getting that top price initially, at least for those first few weeks.
Right.
As say blueberries,
Yeah.
and things like that. Our strawberries are the first strawberries of the season.
Yeah.
Our strawberries finish when the Californians are starting to come across.
Gotcha.
So, it could be that the fall one is just not as
when they went
much.
to the farmer's market buying corn, they always had what they call the farmer's dozen, which was actually 13 years.
Yeah, the baker's dozen, right.
But I've never
right.
seen that down here.
They used to, but that was also when you could also find the truck of the Zellwood corn, the guy in the pickup truck on the corner selling, a paper bag's worth for $2. And he just grab and throw you, a bunch in. They wouldn't be shucked. They would just, here's your corn, and you come by and just grab a bag and go. And it was maybe $3, and you'd have a good 15, 16 years of corn. So you don't find that anymore.
Okay, well, it was nice talking to you, and don't forget the watermelons coming in too now.
That's right. Actually, I've been thinking I need a watermelon. I may have to get a watermelon.
Thanks for the call. You appreciate it, partner.
Yeah. I can live watermelon, corn on the cob, peaches. I think the Florida Georgia peaches should be coming in too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to get this silly thing to wake back up.
Yeah. We got another caller. Good morning, WOCA. You're on the air. In the Garden with Carol Ann.
Good morning.
Morning.
Carol Ann?
Yes.
This is Garrett.
Yes.
And I'm calling to ask for some help.
Okay.
We planted 2 Clavibulia trees
Okay.
out by Margay Skis Memorial.
Right.
And one of the trees has some little, it looks like rust spots on some of the leaves, particularly on the west side.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's a disease or a deficiency, and what do I need to do for it, if you know?
If you say it's like little spots, like little specks, like little.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's probably. I'm trying to think of what size. They can about half the size of a small fingernail.
Oh, okay. So actually, fairly large spots there. To me, that would be fairly large spot. It sounds like it probably is a fungal issue. So I mean, if the trees aren't real large right now yet, are they?
They're pretty good. They're trees. I have to look up at them. I couldn't see the leaves as easily as Mr. Charles did.
Okay. It could be, really nothing that you really need to take much care over. Most of the time a tree can handle somewhat of the pressure of it. If they were smaller or very young trees, I might be a little more concerned. But once they start to get to be too large, it's just very difficult to spray. But I mean, it could be a fungicidal spray could be applied if it's convenient. If the tree is too large, it may just be one of those things of allowing it to just cycle through and see how it goes when with the change of temperatures and moisture in that. But if he wanted to try to spray a fungicide, just one of the commercially available, I mean, you could try something like a copper spray for rust, which would be a little more on the organic side.
I'll get on it then.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it. I'll let you know how it works out.
Okay, appreciate that.
Okay?
Thanks, Gareth.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that. Sometimes, and the pressure on a tree. Sometimes the plants become just too large to really be concerned whether or not to spray.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes they can handle that pressure, or it's a plant that even though it's June, you're going, a leaf spot now, or they're going to look ugly. Maybe a little bit. But is the tree too big?
Oh, yeah.
You want to have to get up on a ladder to spray, or is it that it's a few leaves? Those leaves will probably drop. Keep it clean up underneath there. And just let it do its thing. A smaller tree, obviously, if it's just getting established, you want to make sure whatever pressures are being put upon it are minimized.
Right.
So as it has a healthier start. But a lot of times, once a tree gets to a certain size, it's like, okay, there's a few ugly leaves. We'll let it slide.
Yeah.
Because that's just sometimes a little easier. My laptop decided it doesn't want to come back on.
Oh, the battery die.
Shouldn't have. There it goes. I've been tapping on the thing. I've been tapping on the wrong. I got the. Maybe not.
I was, I pulled up, as you mentioned, the blueberries. I pulled up a video, and there's actually a few designed contraptions or machines here that do run through the row and then agitate
and kind of tickle
the bushes.
The plants,
it's fascinating, and this is all within the same. So as it comes through and tickles it, as the blueberries fall, it hits conveyors, and the conveyors go right up. So it's like
they're being packaged at the or
all in the same the totes.
With
the folks that they all stand on the same thing. You don't have to stand behind it or anything.
Right.
And then once you load the totes up, it even drops like a little trailer that then lets you wheel off all the totes that are stacked up. Talk about efficient.
And automation and
Yeah.
But I mean, there's still several guys out there working, monitoring, and keeping that in line so that it's going.
Yeah.
So
as we've come to the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour in the garden with Carol Ann Baldwin. As we come back, we got more show for you coming. WOCA Ocala back after this.
I'm Chris Foster. It's been 7 nights now of protests and riots in cities around the country since George Floyd's death in Minneapolis. President Trump says if it doesn't stop, he'll send in the military. And right near the White House,
law enforcement fired rubber bullets and deployed tear gas on a crowd in Lafayette Square before President Trump passed through the area to visit St. John's Church, set ablaze the night before.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. A private autopsy finds George Floyd was asphyxiated under a police officer's knee. The actor Jamie Foxx says at a rally in San Francisco, police need to know they'll be punished for brutality.
And that man can sit on that man's neck for that long and feel comfortable about it. That means that he's not afraid of what's going to happen.
A gun store owner in Philadelphia shot and killed one of a group of looters breaking in early this morning. America's listening to Fox News.
Anyone who builds, remodels, or repairs for a living, we know the way you work has changed. That's why Lowe's is committing today to build new ways to keep you working tomorrow. We are proud to introduce the new Lowe's for Pros job site, powered by Stream, an augmented video chat tool, so you can be there for your customers without actually being there. And the cost to use? Try it free through October 31st at lowesforpros.com/proloyalty. Just one of the reasons why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Services subject to Stream terms. Lowe's loyalty membership required. More terms apply.
How much money would you like to save just by doing something you're already doing? How about 40%? With Allstate, safe drivers can save 40% just by doing something they're already doing. Driving safe. That's right, 40% just by driving safe. Visit Allstate.com or call a local agent for a quote today. and see just how much you can save when you drive safe with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Savings vary based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Hey folks, that selection of great trees at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens just got better. Now listen to this. When you buy one tree at Bob's already super low price, you get another one for half price. Now this applies to every tree in stock, starting with a great selection of large trees, 4 to 6 feet tall, selling for just $19.99. All the way up to Bob's famous super jumbo trees at $5.99, delivered, planted, and guaranteed. Check out the truckload sale on citrus trees, too. Orange, tangerine, cantaloupe, lemon, lime, grapefruit, others. Many are bearing fruit right now, and they start at just $59.99. How about that BOGO on shrubs, priced at just $19.99 to $24.99. Buy one, get one free. Come by early. They open at 9, and get the best selection. Beat the crowds. It's this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
AccuSleep offers a safe and effective medical option for those who suffer from sleep disorders of all kinds. AccuSleep makes restoring healthy sleep patterns possible. No medication, no surgery, just good sound sleep. Mend your sleep so you can stop counting sheep. Experience restorative sleep at AccuSleep, the acupuncture sleep clinic in Ocala by calling 352-615-5566.
WOCA. Breezy today with a mix of clouds, couple of showers and a thunderstorm mainly later in the day, high 84 to 86. Tonight, patchy clouds will develop, low 71 to 74. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, a shower or a thunderstorm around. Wednesday's high 82 to 85. Then tomorrow night, cloudy with a thunderstorm, low around 70. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Are you a medical provider that doesn't like to settle for the same boring scrubs? Scrub Paradise in Ocala has a wide selection of top brand scrubs with embroidery available and the newest medical shoes and accessories. Every medical provider should look as great as the care they provide. Scrub Paradise is just off Easy Street next to Shoe Carnival in Ocala. Stop by today or give them a call at 352-873-4368. That's 352-873-4368. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention and God bless America.
Hey, this is Matt from Crossroad Auto Sales. I want to invite you to come over and check out our vehicles. All of our vehicles at Crossroad Auto Sales go through a rigorous 100-point safety inspection. We work with most outside finance companies, and we even have in-house financing available. Stop by today at 1800 Northwest 10th Street or give me a call at 690-6695. That's 690-6695. Crossroad Auto Sales. We won't leave you stranded at the crossroad.
If you've got just a minute, I'll tell you about the terrific sale on summer annuals at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. Now, this brand new selection includes coleus, periwinkle, celosia, zinnias, begonia, marigolds, impatiens, melanpodium, gomphrena, and that's just the beginning. Take your pick, mix and match for just $2.29 each, or get a huge flat 18 for $19.99. Hummingbird and butterfly plants, Big selection, take your pick. Bob's got them, $9.99 to $12.99. Bob still has BOGO on blueberries. And, of course, you gotta get crepe myrtles. More colors than you can count, starting at $24.99. Don't miss out. Best thing is to get there early. They open at 9, and they're open until 4:30 daily. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street in Ocala, the same blooming place since 1952.
We are proud to announce the Conservative Watch Hour on WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM every Friday at 11 a.m. Hosted by Annie Marie Delgado, President of Trump Team 2020 Florida, and her co-host Ann Vandersteel with SteelTruth.com. We are serving a higher level of excellence, and we are the only program of this type in this market. Don't miss your weekly dose of conservative talk radio. WOCA 11 a.m. Fridays, 96.3 and 1370 a.m.
Listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA The Source. That sound means we're still in the garden with Caroline Baldwin, as we're now 9:38, working our way through the garden. With any questions you have, we had a few callers there before the break. If you got any questions yourself, 622-9622.
And I did find that the website I was looking for, wow, words are hard sometimes. I've been doing pretty good. FollowFreshFromFlorida.com.
Well, that's a tongue twister.
Yeah, that one is. There's too many F's in that word. Yeah. It's the what's in season category. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff, that if you're looking for fresh fruit, especially fresh fruit, your cantaloupe, eggplant, avocado, some of your exotic, your guava, lychee, mango, papaya, passion fruit.
Yeah.
All of these star fruit. I love star fruit. Yeah, it's funny because I thought star fruit was sort of past season, but I don't remember if the last time I was down south if I got some, because I am blessed. I have a niece with a huge carambola tree.
Yeah.
And they can't eat them all. And it's like, yes, I must come and grab, get the stick and pull them down. Bring them home, and if you keep them in the fridge, they really do keep well. Watermelon, like we were saying, of course, Florida fresh tomatoes, potatoes, mushrooms. Yeah, the potato crop probably just harvested around May.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you can tell Florida potato chips.
Yeah.
Because Florida potatoes don't keep well. We get the little red potatoes in the markets. You get some of the best what they call new potatoes.
Yeah.
The skins are real thin, papery thin, so they don't keep well.
Okay.
They don't go into the cold storage like the Idaho and the Michigan and those potatoes, the big russet potato farms that do the bulk of commercial potato industry. The potatoes in Florida are a lot more for fresh use. And Golden Flake I'm sure they still do the potato chips for Publix. And years ago, the elementary schools and stuff would take the Golden Flake potato chip tour.
Yeah.
And this is where I learned this, which was kind of cool, is that when the Florida potatoes come in, they're used first.
Okay.
Because they don't keep as well as the others. So, and they also, I guess somehow, but with the starch content, they're a much paler potato chip.
Huh.
So if you're seeing when they're fried up that they're much lighter in color than the other ones. So if you ever notice that between the Golden Flake and the Publix chips, that those are the ones. Lay's, I'm sure that I have no idea if they buy any I call it local produce kind of thing, or if they just contract theirs out of, boom, these farms, and that's it.
Right.
But that was always kind of cool. That I thought that was neat. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can eat such fresh. I mean, and of course, all of our seafood, off the coast of Florida is fantastic too.
Yeah.
So, what better place to live? You can find fresh produce right now, and you can grow it. I mean, now with a lot of our seasons, now that it's June, now that the nighttime temperatures are up in that, I want to say upper 60s, but they've been in the 70s. Yeah. They've been in that lower 70s. A lot of things like the tomatoes and that are just going to stop producing. They can't handle that night. They don't have that cool down. They can handle the 90-degree daytime.
Right.
It's at night being too warm. Your green beans and things like that may just stop flowering.
Right.
Your southern peas are going to kick up and flower. And produce, your black-eyed peas, the pink eye purple hulls growing because they were such great producers one year. I'm just hoping I have quite a bit of shade. I hope I'm going to get some, but probably not a bumper crop. But I only planted a little bit. Eggplant is going to continue through the summer. It likes the hot weather. Watch out on your eggplant, though, for what they call flea beetles. You'll find it'll almost look like somebody blasted the leaves with rock salt or something, little tiny holes. All in the leaves. Those are flea beetles. Go ahead and treat for them because they are taking out quite a bit of the leaf surface, and so you're going to want to treat for that.
Now, are you a big fan of eggplant?
I like eggplant parmesan. I've taken eggplant and cubed it and thrown it in stir fry.
Okay.
And because it will pick up whatever flavor you put with it. It's kind of I like the Ichiban style, which are the long, narrow ones. You can take and slice those long ways, fan it out, brush them with some olive oil and some garlic, and throw it on the grill.
Okay.
And because they're thin enough, they're small enough, they cook quickly. They don't have the seedy bitterness or anything like that. But like your Black Beauty eggplant, the bigger ones are that are great for your parmesans and that. I do. I like it just. I like it fried.
You like it fried?
Yeah.
I was going to say that the only way I know of it, people eating it, is eggplant parmesan.
Right.
And I love vegetables.
Right.
Don't let me get you wrong,
that's
Carolyn.
not just one of you.
I don't like it, and it's part of the nightshade, and it does not function well with my body, and it has to be cooked. If that thing's not cooked, it could seriously make you feel ill.
Yeah.
It's wicked.
It can be.
And I'm just like, it's just one I got to stay away from because there's no other way really that I've known of it other than eggplant parmesan than maybe cutting it up like you said, stir fry.
Right. I threw it in stir fry and hid it.
Yeah.
And hid it in there from the family because I don't want eggplant. It's like, you never knew you ate it.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't like onions. I better believe you do because you eat them every day. I cook with onions, child. Yeah.
It's fascinating about onions. I think for everybody, it's always that feeling when you're a kid. You're like, but then,
because they're strong.
Yeah.
If you're in the kitchen and you see,
man, when you get older, they're so good, so good. There's, I'm not going to plug the restaurants, but there's a place downtown on the square that does onion rings, and they're real big. But the thing is with onion rings is. They can go okay. The batter, and then also too, there's got to be quality in the onion.
That's
the minute
true.
you go to bite the onion ring, and then you start pulling out like what looks like tapeworm, you're just stringing. These things, they're thick and they're so tender to the point where you're expecting the breading, then have to pull it out. It just
bites
comes
right
off.
Through.
And that's the quality in the onions. So don't let them fall short. But it's funny because as you get older, onions get better taste.
They do. They do.
They're so good.
And it is, and it's funny because my daughter's an adult. I'm a grandma, and when she was in college, and she'd go, Mom, why does this taste different when I make it? I says, well, besides that, I make it with love. I put onion in. She goes, well, but I don't like onion. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
It's you just never you're not eating an onion. You're having it sautéed into that. I said, so get some onion powder or minced onion if you're not in the availability to keep fresh on that.
Right.
You add a little in, you'll see that the flavor changes.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, like, when we talk about like all these fruits, all these vegetables, that's good eating. And obviously we always talk about the more local that you eat, probably the better for you, right?
Right.
And it's funny too, because, something like an onion, just eating them raw and stuff, it makes you wonder, like I said, now that I'm older, I like them. And it's like, man, there's got to be such good health benefits from eating them. There's something in there that
there is. It's there's good. The onion, the garlic. I mean, it's blood circulation, all kinds of good stuff.
All kinds of stuff.
And it's funny. And if you have children that are a little, are picky, children. My grandson, and I can talk about him. He can't hear this unless he's listening down in Orlando. When he was little, he'd eat any vegetable you put in front of him.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah. He would just, they would, carrots, green beans, peas, didn't matter. Put it in front. He ate it. He hit the age of 5 and then would not touch a vegetable.
Is that right?
And so went through a picky time. And even I recall myself, I was a little picky eater when it came to some of those. I had my favorites.
Right.
But as I got older, visiting friends, going to new experiences and things like that, you had to try it.
Right.
Because it was on the table. You couldn't say, no, I don't care for that.
Yeah.
You had to try it. But just a little bit, I want to try everything. And you tried it and go, ooh.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I like that now. Mm-hmm. And so just keep adding some of those things back in. You just, hey, you're having squash. The child didn't like squash last year. Try it again this year.
Yeah, try it again.
Here, you got to have one piece. Just taste it.
Taste it.
If you don't like it, fine. We'll try it again next year.
Or spaghetti it.
Get the spaghetti squash. Get a spaghetti squash and throw that in there. Nice, healthy. You're lowering the carbs. You still got your marinara sauce. You can throw, and do that up and. Boom! You got a kid eating a vegetable that he didn't even know.
Exactly. You mentioned that with like when you're younger. So like we had all kinds. And the big thing we always ate, which I liked, were beets. I loved beets.
No.
And then now I'm like, unless it's pickled.
Yeah, it's like, no.
Unless it's pickled. And I think a lot of it is we just had so many of them, so much, so often. And I got to a point where I feel like as we got older, it's like, I think my mom...
You were required to eat them.
We were required to eat it, and I think my mom got a little bit lousier. I think she half-assed cooking the beets because they were always so hard.
Ooh.
Not softer enough to eat. So it was one way or the other. It was either too soft and you're eating mush, baby food, or you're eating it pretty much right out of the ground, so to speak. It was just blanched or whatever in water. But it's something like that I remember growing up. It's like I loved beets, but now, unless, like I said, unless it's pickled on a salad, that's about the only way I'll do it. Brussels sprouts, hated as a kid. Hated them. Skeleton heads. Hated them. That's what I call it. Love them now. Oh my goodness. You know what's incredible is you dice up just a little bit of like a really good like tart, like apple, like a Granny Smith, or even something like a Honey Crisp that'll give you some sweetness. And you dice that up and you roast them in the oven with that olive oil and a little bit of that coarse sea salt. Bada boom.
There you go.
That's good stuff.
Well, that saved myself with cabbage. My father was the only person in the house that ever ate cabbage. My mom couldn't. It didn't agree with my mother, so she couldn't. We would walk in the house and oh my God. I love it.
Cabbage. You love it.
I love it. I love a good pot of ham and cabbage. I put the potatoes, the carrots, the onions, the whole works.
Cabbage rolls
and
too.
It's cabbage rolls. Love cabbage rolls. Haven't made them in a long time, but
that's one. Yeah. That's one. Every now and then I got to be in the mood for that, and I feel like lately I've been in the mood for something like that. My grandma makes a good one.
And those are comfort foods. Of course, as we're coming into the hotter months, we're thinking, I really don't want to turn on the oven to do that, or put the big pot on the stove. I'm having fun, and I know this isn't really much. It can be gardening because you're thinking of your vegetables. You're cooking and vegetables and gardening all work into one. And if anybody recalls, Larry and I always got into the food.
That's right. That's right.
These air fryers.
Yeah.
Little mini convection ovens.
Yeah.
God's gift to the kitchen. I love mine. I'm learning to cook with mine. I picked up off the books, what do they call that, newsstand thing, one of these magazine cookbook ones. And it's like, I've made like 4 things out of it. I'm going, yes, I'm in love.
Is that right?
And it's, or you find another recipe that says to fry it. And it's going, why fry it? I can put it in the air fryer.
Yeah.
And then I don't have the grease from that.
Yeah, but it still gives you the crispness.
Still give you that crisp texture and that your egg rolls and things like that. And so some of your other, play with it. See how you can do with it. I haven't gotten into the thing, and I've seen the recipes of grilling watermelon.
I've heard of this too. And
I haven't tried it. I'm a little afraid. Somebody else fix it and feed it to me.
No, and
I'll try it.
And when they say grilled, they're not really...
They're just searing. A hot grill and to caramelize the sugars. I've done the pineapple because we've all had pineapple on ham.
But it's so much more dense. Yeah,
right. Your watermelon. You're thinking a thick slice.
I'm picturing a watermelon just
sliding, mushing right.
Yeah, mushing through it, and then just getting all of the debris that you didn't scrape off from the grill grate. That's just now on your watermelon. That's sitting in there. But I don't know. Like you said, if it can get it where it's hot, and then like you said, sear it to where it caramelizes the sugars within that water
and stuff like that. Another thing, when we've got peaches going to be coming into season. I'm waiting for peaches. God, I need a peach now.
Yeah.
Had such good peaches last year.
Yeah.
There was a good peach crop last year.
I'll pay attention this year.
You can take another thing and fun when the kids are home. Fun things to do to get them to. You take a peach and you half a peach. Now I've always done it with canned peaches, but I'm sure fresh peaches would work as well. Take the pit out, piece of aluminum foil. We'll sprinkle a cinnamon sugar and a marshmallow in there.
Yeah.
And fold that foil up and set it on the grill.
Is that right?
And heat that up. The marshmallow is going to melt. The cinnamon and sugar is going to caramelize in there, and that peach, fantastic dessert.
Oh wow, that sounds great.
Good.
That sounds real good.
Comes back all the way back from the Girl Scout days.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's an adult version of a s'more without the chocolate.
Yeah, and I'm not a big. This is for listening. I'm not a big fan of chocolate at all.
Yeah.
I once in a while in a mood I can have a piece of dark chocolate or Reese's Pieces, but that's it. So like anything I could do with like a little s'more type. Yeah. Without the we got a caller. Thanks for waiting there too, partner. Good morning. You're on the air in the garden with Caroline.
Yeah. Good morning. Some years ago there was a spaghetti sauce commercial that ran, and the premise was that a mother and daughter were tasting spaghetti sauce, and the daughter was to determine which sauce was her mother's and which sauce was from the jar.
Oh yeah.
And the daughter says, "Oh, that's my mother's. It's got the green things in it."
Oh, yeah, the green things, the bell pepper.
I think the mother would have told the daughter what the green things were, like green peppers and oregano and basil.
Unfortunately, if you told the daughter they're green peppers, she'd go, "I don't like bell pepper."
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, partner. Appreciate it.
So true. Yes, I recall that one.
Have a good morning. All.
You too. Thank you. I do recall that. I recall that.
Yeah.
It's got the green things in it. Yep. And that's another thing. If you've got, that with the kids things, if they're not big veggie eaters, because a lot of kids really like fruit.
Right.
But they're not big. Yeah. It's sweeter. But they're not big on vegetables. Hide the veggies.
Yeah.
Hide it in the tomato sauce. Even if you got to grind them up. I'm not saying turn everything into a vegetable version of something. I'm afraid of a cauliflower pizza. I don't know. You'd have to.
Oprah says it's great. That's what her Weight Watchers is all about.
But you know what? If you train yourself into it, quite possibly is.
Have you done the cauliflower? Or what do they have, like rice substitute?
I haven't, but I can see putting that in.
It's actually pretty good because when I was a kid and we would have cauliflower, I liked it when we got to the bottom when it was all those little pieces.
Crumbs. Yeah, just the little crumbs.
Yeah.
But yeah, take and throw in that in with your mashed potatoes. But if you put in too much, it's going to taste different. Same thing. They say turnips. Is it turnip or rutabaga? Somebody will fix me on that one. Of adding, cooking one of those in with your potatoes to make your big pot of mashed potatoes changes that nutrition magnificently.
Is that right?
And you don't tell the difference. So long as you don't go too much, because otherwise it's too strong.
Right.
And then adding that in your spaghetti sauce. Now, I buy a jarred sauce because it's easy.
I know. Yeah.
I could go, I want spaghetti. Here's the jar.
Yeah.
But I buy the one with the garden vegetables in it.
Exactly.
And then I chop up more onion, more bell pepper, and things like that. But it's got, your zucchini in it, and this and that. Or if you're making your own, add more into it. The kids aren't going to notice the difference. It's chunks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a sauce with the chunks in it.
Yeah, because they're eating the sauce, they're eating the noodles.
Things. Yeah. It's got the green stuff in it. It's got the green things in it. It's got the lumps in it. It's like hiding the spinach in my daughter. Here we go. She's probably, her ears are burning. never would eat spinach.
Yeah.
I love spinach.
Now, how'd you cook it?
I have to say, I like canned spinach. I grew up eating frozen or canned spinach. I love it. Just heat that thing up. The can says it's 3 servings. Baloney. It's barely 2. Yeah, I'll sit there, heat that thing up, butter and salt. That's all I need. Squish out the liquid, and I'll eat it. But she was mentioning the
you gotta cream it.
Ricotta, and spinach lasagna rolls.
Okay.
And I went, "You eat spinach?" She goes, "Oh yeah, Mom. I started putting the raw baby spinach on like Subway subs years ago."
Yeah.
Okay, so see, taste change.
Yeah.
But for her to sit down and have a serving of spinach, no. But she'll eat it in other ways. And again, you put it in different things.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. It
Now,
just is.
I like spinach, in the salads, like the regular raw spinach.
Yeah.
But, like you mentioned a can, I can't do that. I'll do, frozen, thawed out, then you can, as long as you cream it, kind of. But the restaurant I worked at, they started doing it as a side with the lobster ravioli. And what they did was they'd a little bit of minced garlic with olive oil, and they just kind of saute it in the pan, just wilted it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! And with the dash of salt, it was delicious. And it got to a point, I kid you not.
You craved it.
I craved it.
Yeah.
Like, because it was a vegetable, and I knew that it was good for me. So I always try to eat my vegetables, right? So it's like, you get sick of the broccoli, and the broccoli. And that's how you say broccoli, because that's what it is. It's broccoli.
I love broccoli.
I love it too, but it's just so old now. It's like broccoli. And then you get that one bag that just happens to be all stems of broccoli.
Yeah.
But I got the spinach, and then, like I said, over time I started to crave it because there's a certain taste to it that was just refreshing, and because it was like cleaner.
And not just that too. It's possibly one of the minerals that are in it.
Yeah.
Your dark green leafy vegetables
Yeah.
are just that. Now, people who have to restrict their potassium, their vitamin K intake, have to be very careful
with
the quantity that they eat of that. But anybody else, I mean, boom, go for it.
Yeah. I'm actually craving it right now.
Yeah,
It
now
sounds
you're
really
thinking
good.
you're going to stop and buy a bag of baby spinach and make sure you got some garlic at the house.
Yeah, that sounds good. See, this is, and by the way, as we are coming up to, we just got about a minute and a half left, but I do want to say that is one of the best parts about bringing this up, because you're right, vegetables and growing them, that's what goes hand in hand. I told you off air that we're going to go see my dad here coming in the next coming weeks, and I told you though his garden, hopefully it's doing a little bit better, because remember I told you about planting the beans, and then nothing germinated. So it was like he was questioning his own sanity of whether or not he actually planted those.
Put them in, yeah.
So we'll see what's come up so far. But one of the big things is that at the point when we go see my dad, it's like that's what it's about. It's about cooking some vegetables, and it's good. And then like we said, fruit salads and all that.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to be honest with you, that's the best part about, like you said, living in Florida. It just feels like it's summer all the time. And when I grew up north, summer was all about the vegetables.
It was
and
all
fruits.
about going to the produce market.
Yeah,
and
we talked about it. Yeah, from having the corn to the zucchini to the squash to the watermelon, beans and potatoes. When you're stuck, you're grounded or something. You're like, hey, help me with this bushel of beans. We got to snap beans.
Snapping beans.
But nonetheless, there you go. So, Carol Ann, good show there, girl. As we roll up to the top of the 10 o'clock hour, stay tuned as we've got Matt Gibbs up next. Sonrise Automotive repair with personal care. That'll do it for Carol Ann. Stay tuned next week as we'll probably talk some more about the weather and garden vegetables and cooking. I know I'm hungry.
Yeah, there you go. What's for
WOCA back after this.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. There are curfews imposed in more than 30 cities and counties around the country in an effort to stop riots and looting happening alongside peaceful protests against police violence. A police officer is shot and wounded during protests in Las Vegas. 4 are shot in St. Louis. Chief John Hayden Jr.
Some coward fired shots at officers, and now we have 4 in the hospital. But thankfully, and thank God, they're alive.
In D.C., President Trump walked across a park cleared by police, posing for pictures with a Bible at St. John's Church, damaged by fire Sunday night.
The bishop of the D.C. Episcopal Diocese said the church was caught off guard by the visit, with no sense that it's a sacred space to be used for sacred purposes. Presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden said the president tear-gassed peaceful protesters and fired rubber bullets for a photo.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. America's listening to Fox News.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel.